Good evening, everyone.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Friday night, it's 9 p.m. and we are back here on the series, How to
Ace Your Career.
So guys, we are again back here with this series, and today's episode is about, are you really feeling undervalued at work? Do you feel you're underpaid? But more to the details of the session later, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Nutan. I'm a career and life coach, and I coach mid-age professionals, that is people of 12 to 15 plus years of experience. When they get stuck in their career, or when they're going through this feeling, which I just mentioned, that they feel they're undervalued, that is the time they come to me so that they can accelerate their growth in their career, or they reach out to me when they want to alternate their career path. So it's for career transition. And finally, of course, if they have gone through a break, how do they restart their career? So these are the various options I coach my clients on. And touch wood, till date, in the last decade, we've never had a challenge on getting the results that our clients desire.
Yep.
And he is?
I'm Dheeraj Parkar, and I'm a life coach, career coach, and a business coach.
And today, the fantastic part is, it's just not going to be the two of us sharing and talking. We have one more celebrity client of ours. I've just requested her to join in and share her story. So put your hands together to welcome, and here she is. Good evening, Amrita. Okay, you can join in, we can see you, and then we can continue. So guys, as you all know, that today's session was about, are you feeling undervalued in your career, in your current job role?
Yes.
And we want to begin by sharing, how do you really feel undervalued or underpaid? There are certain signs in your work life. When you're going through that, that is the time you can generally feel that you are not feeling wanted, you're not at the right place, and you would wish to really want a job shift, or probably move from your company, or some people actually choose alternate career paths. So what is that you're looking at is something which you can go through by understanding the signals on how do you feel underpaid. Let's begin with the first sign.
Okay, so the first sign when you have to know that whether you've been underpaid or not is lack of recognition. That's the first sign we are talking about. Okay.
So when we say lack of recognition, means what? It means that you are doing the work, but there is no one to appreciate your work. You're doing the work, but there is no one who's recognizing the effort that you're taking. Your achievements and your contributions are going unnoticed.
Yes.
Unappreciated by your managers, your teammates, and your stakeholders. You don't know how your work is benefiting the organization. So that's the first sign that you're feeling undervalued at work.
Okay. The second is inadequate compensation. So, when you know that, your pay does not match the value of work that you're doing. It's not that competitive as compared to industry standards. You're working so hard. You're delivering much more than the company's expectation. You're a good employee. You're aware of that. But in spite of that, you're being paid lower than somebody else, or company standards or industry standards. That's where you start feeling that undervalued at work.
Then, of course, limited growth opportunities. So your company is not having the opportunities for career advancement or professional development. When you go and ask and sit in front of the manager, what next for me in the 1 year or the 3 years, he doesn't have an answer. And that is where it's natural to feel that you're not important in this organization.
At the same time, I would say poor communication, which means when there is poor or no communication at all with your manager, with your boss, with your senior, they're not even interested to talk to you. They're not even interested to spending time with you to understand what you're going through. That means you're being undervalued.
Of course, one very, very crucial thing is about micromanagement.
Yes.
So, most of the times you are there, you're delivering, you're doing a great job, and then all of a sudden, there's a new boss who comes in. And now he believes in constant monitoring. He wants to see every bit of your work, and only when it goes through him is the time he will feel that yes, it is done correctly. So when your boss is constantly monitoring you, you start feeling that your skills and your judgment is not being trusted. And at this stage of your mid-career, you will not want that kind of feeling. And that's why this feeling of being undervalued in your organization.
The next is unfair treatment. Okay. Now, when you may feel unappreciated due to unfair treatment in terms of promotion, like rewards, you've worked so hard and you're so sure that now you deserve this promotion, because I truly believe you get not what you desire, but you get what you deserve. Now you deserve a promotion, but that's been given to somebody else because somebody is known to someone, or you don't get the rewards in terms of money that you should be getting. You get that bonus, that company's done very well, but you've not got the bonus, or the workload distribution. Most of the work has been given to you, or unwanted work is given to you, which is not going to give you that place in the organization to show that you have done something. These are the things when there is an unfair treatment, and that's where you're undervalued.
Then one thing which is really running throughout LinkedIn, I think almost every week there is a new thing which is coming up related to this topic, which is toxic work culture.
Yeah.
A negative work environment where you're feeling humiliated in the meetings. The boss is ensuring that he's putting you down, or the boss is playing favoritism. So you have done the work, but the boss is appreciating someone else in the meeting and is putting you down. Or there is no teamwork, so you don't feel a sense of belonging. So when this kind of environment plays in the company where you're working, you naturally feel this is not the right place. I want to move out, because you feel undervalued.
Absolutely. Again, the next one is lack of work-life balance. Okay. When work demands constantly encroach on your personal time and well-being, and your physical mental health gets impacted, because nowadays what's happening is that the company is wanting to take your mind share 24/7. Now, that's what is a challenge. I'm not saying that work 6 hours or 8 hours, but what I'm trying to say is that whenever you are not working, you should be free from that. That's very important. But even if you are left and you've come home and you're already thinking, because that's the kind of pressure on you, then that's going to impact your health. And it will also affect your relationship with your family and friends. And that's how it will spoil everything. So that's where you realize that this is not where I'm being valued.
Then, of course, underutilization of your skills.
Yes.
You can do much more. You have that expertise, those skills, but they're not being utilized. You're just given role which is very irrelevant, not really living to your full potential. That is the time you know that you're undervalued by the organization.
And the last, and there are of course many more, but what we could give in this such a short span is company changes. Organizational restructure has happened, new management team, mergers, change in the leadership, everything has happened, and due to which now your role does not seem significant. That's the time you need to realize that you're being undervalued.
So all of you who are listening to us, have you ever faced this in your life? Any one of them or multiple of them? Have you really felt that you were undervalued or underpaid?
Yeah, Pastor Raj has already commented, commented that he completely agrees on point number 1. So I'm sure that will be many. If you can put it on your comment, that would be really great.
So great, Amrita, it's time for you to come up on the camera and let people listen to you. Have you gone through this kind of situation where you were undervalued? You didn't feel that you were relevant in the organization?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
And
so I think,
appreciating that at this particular time, which is what, 12:30?
It's 12:40 now. She's from Japan, friends, and we are really grateful to you to come at this time and wanting to help all of us. So please go on. Thank you.
Yes.
I think I could relate to every single point of what you said. Like, I was like, when you're saying, okay, that incident, oh, that time. So I could absolutely visualize everything that you were saying. So if I have to cite some recent examples, like sir mentioned, I am in Japan. So last August, I came to Japan through one of my previous organizations. I was the first one to be kind of a case to be transferred to Japan. So everybody was very excited. Jaldi se bhej do, send her. So we'll have that success story to show that, see, we successfully sent somebody to Japan. So in that hurry-burry, I was sent, and the transfer was not formally completed. So I was still having my Indian salary and getting my allowance in Japan, which was still okay. It was financially, mathematically working okay. I was not getting majorly impacted, but issues started when after coming here, I was not getting any help, so I didn't know the processes of this company because it was less than a year that I had joined there and I was sent here. I did not know how reimbursements happen. So my hotel and all transactions were on the corporate credit card. And I was in my previous organizations before that, the bill used to get settled directly from when you claim reimbursement. So I was just waiting. And I think after 2 months, I started getting mails and calls from the credit card company saying that your bill is outstanding and your credit score is getting impacted. And I was very shocked because it's a corporate credit card, right? I'm not using it for my personal expenses. And I raised it to my manager, to HR. I wrote multiple emails. Nobody was really bothered. I even wrote to them a couple of times that if this is not sorted, I want to come back, which they obviously didn't want to happen because their success story would go away. But then it was like, okay, we landed you there, now you figure out things on your own. So I ended up paying, I think, 5.5 lakh rupees for that credit card bill, which so they did not directly reimburse. It was a lengthy process, and I came to know I had to pay. So I felt that like you wanted me to be here as your success story, and you were like showing my skills off everywhere to land me here, and absolutely no support. After that, I was working really hard because being the first person, I had to get more business. So I was really connecting, networking, doing everything that was expected, but absolutely no support from anybody. Even some of the Japan counterparts were not sure how to start working. So I was helping them with a lot of things, how to work with like India offshore team. So I was doing everything that I was supposed to do, but nobody supported me in anything. And then I was really feeling, plus I was alone. My husband had not traveled with me that time. So I was even like, so I did not have anybody to lean upon after coming back from work, or work from home days were really crazy, lonely. So Monday to Friday, I used to be alone. And then I just used to wait for Friday evening to go out, meet friends, or call somebody home because I was so, stressed out because of all of this. So I was really feeling worthless after doing all this. Also, nobody really bothered. Even after I resigned from there, after, of course, speaking to ma'am, having sessions on how to do, what to do next, I was talking to her throughout. So then eventually we reached a decision that probably this is not the right place to continue. Plus, I mean, financially also later on, it became a big burden. It was impacting me, my finances back home. So I was not very comfortable continuing I think the salary that they were planning to offer was also not that great, was what I understood later. So I think it worked out in a good way later after speaking to ma'am that I decided to pursue my next opportunity. I think 8 months back. So last October, I was in discussions with multiple companies, employers. So mostly all interviews I was clearing. We were preparing really well. So after I could not get through my dream company that time for multiple reasons because of a global hiring
Here,
freeze.
here I'm going to hold you, and I
Okay.
expect your next part of the story after we share this entire thing on
Okay.
how do we do. So when you're feeling undervalued, and undervalued, like Amrita just mentioned, you're not feeling supported, your team is not supporting you, you're going through challenges, no one is bothered of what you're really struggling with. That is the time you just don't want to be there. And it definitely impacts
and a good sign that I'm sorry to interrupt, but a good sign, she said that she was waiting for Friday evening.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
because she said
I'm not that kind of a person.
my friends. That itself is a big sign that you're being undervalued as an employee, you're not being taken care, and nobody's bothered of what's happening with you. When you reach a state that, okay, Friday, that's what it is. But if you are happy and you've been valued, you'll wait for Monday.
Right. So, this naturally has an impact on your mental and emotional health.
Yes.
Now, while we cannot do anything about how the organization is functioning, right, or your manager is behaving, but you can definitely decide what you should do about it. And that's what we work with Amrita in the next 8 months. Now, that's the question that I'm wanting to pose to you. Are you planning to still continue in the same role with a fear that you might not get a better job?
Yes.
What if another company also does the same thing? The fear that even she expressed that, I've just taken up a role, I've not been here for long enough. What will the other company think about me?
Yes.
Is something wrong with me? Or probably you're too much into your comfort zone and you don't want to break that comfort zone.
So most of us, what we have seen, sabotage our own growth many times in our life, especially in the professional front. If you talk about, being a man, but I'm saying women do it more often than men. In these years of experience, more than a decade that we have coached so many people, we have seen examples that there is, so much of disparity in the salary. For example, at the age of 45, working in one of the most IT company, the CTC that I know people are drawing is just 25, 30 lakhs. Or you're working in automobile industry, the best of the industry, and your age is 53 and your salary is 35. This all shows that there is disparity in the salary. And obviously, talking about managerial roles, not blue-collar job that we are talking here. So if you feel that you're undervalued at work and they don't stay, to gather the courage, okay, that's the most important thing. Gather the courage to seek help and move on. That's what Amrita did. She seeked help and she's moved on. She'll tell the latest story. People somehow don't believe in the power of investing on themselves. They are so easy and comfortable in investing on their family, investing on their kids, friends, everywhere. But they don't want to in themselves. Somehow they feel guilty. There's a person whom I'm working on, where he's feeling guilty to invest on himself, where he feels he should invest on his child education. Okay, that's the guilt people go through. Then you need to seek an expert to manage their hurt,
So, generally people seek an expert to manage their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
But they fail to realize that money which actually grows in terms of their earnings, and he's the source or she's the source of that money, they don't want to seek help there.
Absolutely.
They don't want to seek a coach who can help them reinvent themselves and tap their innate potential. Imagine at the age of 53, you're just earning 35 lakhs. But if 10 years back, you would have chosen a coach, you would be touching 1 crore of salary.
Absolutely correct.
So what is important is really identifying that I'm not able to do it on my own. Let me reach out for help.
So we are not saying this because, we want you to get coached from us, but we are saying this, that there is a requirement at such time to take help, a mentor, a coach or support system who will help you, to guide you to get out of that. That's what we are trying to put. Well, with coaching thousands of people over a decade, we have created a framework and how you can rediscover yourself and get the job that you desire, the salary that you deserve. And we call this framework as 5M to ace your career.
So the first M is a map. Yes, you heard me right. It's map. If career is a journey, then how can you ace it without the most effective map?
Yes.
So get clarity of where you want to reach in the next 3, 5, 10 years in your career. What is the role that you want to play? What's your dream job? That's exactly what we did with her. And she came out with a dream company and the dream role that she would like to play.
Absolutely. Second, where are you currently? This is very important. Okay. Where you want to reach is the first thing. But where are you currently with respect to your job? Look at your skills, your expertise, and your experience.
And then what's the gap between where you are and where you want to go?
Yes.
How will you bridge that gap is the first M of this 5M of the workshop.
Absolutely. The second M is mindset. Now, what is a mindset? Mindset is the mental attitude with which we approach something. It's a collection of thoughts, assumptions, and beliefs. Success in almost every area of our life depends on what we think about our abilities, about our talents, and about our self. This mindset is then reflected in our behavior, moods, and influences all our actions.
So, mental toughness is what determines whether you'll move forward, whether you'll persevere in your adversity or give up at some point in time.
Yes.
By understanding and shifting your mindset, you can achieve the results that you're after and you can accomplish all the goals that you've set for yourself. There is nothing you cannot achieve if you have the right mindset. Of course, it starts from taking complete ownership and control of your career.
The third M is momentum. Shifting your mindset is not easy. It takes a constant effort and commitment to do that. How can you create some new habits, routines requires to shift your mindset? Momentum is building, to build by creating some rituals around your emotional, mental, and physical life. Like, for example, if you want to reduce your weight or if I want to build this muscle, then I need to exercise 5 days a week. If I'm going to do once a month, my muscle is not going to build. Same way, when you do something every single day, that's the time you're able to create a breakthrough in your career. How will you hold yourself accountable to follow through? Consistency is the key to make a shift. That's momentum all about.
Absolutely. So what are some rituals you should follow to create a breakthrough in your career?
Yes.
Once you design those rituals and you follow them consistently, that's how create the momentum that's required to make that shift. The fourth M is marketing. Marketing means what? Now, if you feel that the people that you're working with, especially your manager, should know all your good work, then you're absolutely wrong. In these times, when you're working with MNCs, where you have one direct reporting manager, you have a functional reporting manager, a thin dotted line to someone sitting in some different location and time zone, expecting that they will know what you're doing, it's really being over optimistic.
And if you're working with a big, giant brand, so there are thousands of employees where one manager has to take care. So he's not just going to sit looking that, okay, is this guy doing or not doing? So today only in my session, I was telling a client that you work in a company where there are 22,000 employees and your manager has to take off 300 people. He's not going to keep watching you. So it's important that you market yourself. So better market yourself. Otherwise, you'll always remain undervalued and underpaid. Do you know how to market yourself? What are some of, these are my questions to all of you here today. Do you know how to market yourself? What are some of your abilities, talents, skills that you can highlight? Are you marketing yourself enough to the right people? That's very important. In sales, we always say, are you talking to the decision maker or you're talking to someone who is not having the decision? To go in, are you speaking to the right people to get the breakthrough you need in your current job or when you're applying for a new job? Marketing is extremely important. I know there is one of the biggest challenges I've seen people is the problem of marketing.
The last step is, of course, methodology. The strategy and the actions you will take to get your next job, to grow in your career. How will you build a killing resume that's going to catch everyone's attention? Whom will you network with? Which are the platforms you need to use to get your dream job? How will you prepare to ace your interview? How will you negotiate the offer? These are all very, very important things you need to work on to get the job that you desire or to grow in your existing company. All these 5 M's, if used correctly, you can definitely be at a company where you will get the value you deserve in terms of recognition, salary, and the job profile. And here I invite Amrita once again on sharing how did we work on these 5 M's with you and how did you land into your dream job?
Yes.
Thank you. So where I left in my last part. So after all that, then yeah, one of my dream jobs. So I think initially in the sessions also, I remember ma'am telling me to write down my dream companies or what kind of, using the 5 M's also defining what I want to do, what my role looks like, what kind of a company culture I want to be working, what kind of a boss. So it was like visualizing everything so strongly that we had to make it happen. So it was almost there last October, but due to the company's global hiring freeze, it did not happen. Of course, I was disappointed, but ma'am did not let me go down, and we ensured that I got a very good offer. So I think I had 4 or 5 offers by the end of the year last year. And then I think every role that we were going through, one question she kept on asking me every time, is this role going to, roll into the dream job that you always think of, the dream company that you want to go to? Will this contribute to your growth? And that's how we selected one of the companies. I joined there on 1st of February this year. But again, I think history repeated. Again, the issues that both of them were talking in the beginning, exactly the same thing happened. I was totally feeling undervalued. There was no life. It was only work, no work-life balance. I used to leave home at 8 o'clock in the morning, come home at like 11, 12, then have dinner. I did not have time to eat lunch. I did not have time to even go to natural washroom breaks. It was crazy. It was spoiling my health like anything. Plus, anybody would call you any time of the day, on the weekend, on holidays, and tell you, oh, please come online. We want to talk to you. Basically, you were supposed to be online and working. It was really, I understand it was client expectations, client role and all, but so I'm not blaming any person on any team as such, but the environment was really bothering me. My health, I was not getting enough sleep, no food, nothing. I mean, it was, and again, the work was also not very, like the work that I was hired for. I felt I've gone back probably 10 years. I felt I was giving so much time, but it was not up to my potential. I was really underutilized. I felt that way. So that stress started building up. My energy levels went down, and ma'am knows me for a long time now. So she immediately catches.
I think it was the first time when I was so strict to her in terms of taking care of her health.
Yes.
You know, when you start compromising on your health, that's the last day you should be working in any organization.
Very true.
Because once you've lost your health, there is nothing that you have to offer, either in your relationship or in any job. And I remember talking to each other and setting reminders. Did you go for your natural course? Did you have lunch today? It was so pathetic. And I mean, in the work culture, so demanding that she didn't have time for all this. And that is where the next move happened. Yes, please go ahead.
So I think, I mean, all this was happening. And I think 1 or 2 times when I really had a bad stomach pain when I went to the washroom, and that time I realized this is really wrong, and this is not the right place. But having said so, I had just changed my job. It was just like February, and it's not even 6 months. So I was feeling very guilty. I was feeling like, no, this is not the right thing to do. And tada, the opportunity that I had lost 8 months back, the recruiter and I started talking on LinkedIn, and he said that the position is open. And I spoke to ma'am. I said, this is what I came to know. So I want to go ahead. And the recruiter was also keen to know if I am eager to join or eager to reconsider them as an employer. So, of course, being my dream company and like a dream role, I said yes. Things moved pretty fast because already I had cleared everything last time. So this time only they had kind of the last round that is conducted. Out of that, two people I had already spoken to last time. So it was just like, hey, hello, long time, how are you? What were you doing for the last 8 months? Kind of, I won't even call it an interview, but yeah, kind of an interaction. And I think it went through very fast. I think in 3 weeks, I had the offer in hand with the dream designation, the dream role. I mean, throughout I think, so I'm working for almost 17, 18 years now. I was waiting that when I will graduate from senior manager to a director role. And finally, I could see the word director on my offer letter. And in my dream company, I think it's okay to share because I've posted it on LinkedIn. So I joined Amazon Audible team on 18. That's like 3 days back as an associate director for Japan. And I think just some time back, I was speaking to ma'am and telling her the kind of work culture, the kind of people that they are. The country head just comes down and casually chats with everybody, and she's laughing on the floor, and it's so different. I mean, I felt that yes, I belong here. I felt that yes, I can give my best here. And I think throughout, ma'am has been an amazing support. I think all my LinkedIn posts, I never forget to add her because it's immense gratitude for her and sir. Of course, both of them have been an integral part of all my successes. And I don't think it would have been possible without them, because the way she has coached me, the way she has helped me prepare not only for interviews, because that's probably a last step, I'll say, but all through the mindset, everything on maintaining my own I think sanity in sometimes when I'm really lost, when I don't know what I want to do, challenging situations, issues, when I get into the comfort zone, she ensures that I am pulled out. She's been like my coach for anything and everything that I want to do in my professional life, and I'm very grateful. And that's why I don't mind coming in at 12:30 or even 1 o'clock at night for them, because this is absolutely, I'm here today because of them. So thank you so much. And I think my dream came true all because of you.
Wow. Well, I would say this, you've made us proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And let me tell you about, just to add on, that she deserves this. It's not just because she desired, but she truly deserves. She's one person who is so hardworking, so sincere, and she's so good in what she does. And single-handedly, without any great support, she has created her own life. Some all the people, male, female, can be proud about, can learn from her. That's the kind of role. And that is why we, when we meet such people, we feel that, and that's with all our clients, we feel they deserve it. Okay. And it's been unfair that they have not been there and somebody else who is not done as there. And that's why it gives us a very different level of emotions for both of us to get so personally involved with them so that they ensure they get what we deserve. And truly, we are happy today. It's been almost from 3-4 years that she's been getting coach from her. But today I can say, that I'm so happy that she is in the dream company that she deserves and the position that she deserves. So thank you very much, Amrita.
And the last message that you would like to convey to all the people
listening, yes,
and who would listen to you later, that if they're feeling undervalued or underpaid, what should they do?
Right. I think what I learned from even these 2 experiences I have shared, or even prior experiences where I felt I was getting in the comfort zone. So any moment, I think any one of us feels that, of course, being undervalued, or we are not growing, we feel that, okay, what next? And we are not getting answers from our manager or from anybody else who we talk to in the organization. I think it's time to, really reconsider, like sir said, be it a coach, mentor, a guide, whoever you feel is the right person to guide you. For me, it has always been ma'am. And in many sessions, sir comes in to say hello and, raises the energy also. So I think their energy is really contagious. So I think it's just about realizing and accepting. I think many times we are so scared that, who will give me a job, or do I deserve some this kind of raise, or do I deserve this position? I think those self-doubts and questions are something that, we should really seek help from a coach or a mentor to help us answer. And really, I think it is about mindset, like you mentioned, one of the M. So that mindset also is something that we need to change. Many times, like sir said, we ourselves sabotage our growth. So we should not, if we are really wanting to grow and really flourish in our careers, I think we definitely need to reach out. I mean, I always reach out to them. So I would recommend that you reach out to them too. But I think it's about accepting and taking action.
Absolutely right. I think
so thank you very much, Amrita, for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can now rest, have a good night's sleep, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much for coming. God bless you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
And for all the others, thank you so much once again for being here. I hope our experience has given you that clarity that no matter who you are, no matter what position, what years of experience, you can get into a dream job. That's why we called. We didn't call to market ourselves. The reason we called you, that a girl who was just a manager working for 16 years and now in the next span of 3 years only, she has reached one of the greatest companies, that's Amazon, and as an associate director. So which means dreams can be seen and can be achieved. Just a little bit of help and you'll be able to make it. So thank you very much and God bless. Good night. Bye-bye. And see you again on next Friday on How to Ace Your Career. Bye-bye.